What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 181, being recorded on October 19th, 2022. I am your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo fresh from his vacation.
What's up, nerds? I will be yawning. I apologize in advance.
So not so fresh from his vacation. No. That's what I meant to say. We've got Bootleg Binks. He keeps changing his name, but Bootleg Binks is over there.
I gotta combine the together.
I love it. It's a surprise every time. And Grand Admiral Franz is here.
Hey, everybody.
And fresh off the Fallen Fett Chronicles, the Ernie the Fallen Fett. Ernie?
He's not first. He's blinking. What's up, Ernie?
He just did like another spooktacular, so I'm wondering if he's
frightened.
He's
done. He said, "F you guys, I'm out." Well, this is starting out lovely. This is great.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I'm sure he'll be
he's
popping back in.
Still traumatized from his show.
Exactly. Crystal's still out, but she will be back. She promises. So you will see her very, very soon.
Joey's about to suspend her.
Yeah, right.
He was telling her she's on probation and can't be missing days like this.
You got an attendant. Yeah, an attendance rule.
She's about to get 3 days on the beach, man. She's unpaid.
Nice. Well, before we get into all the good Star Wars news and rumors and Andor, of course, we do want to give a special shout out to our Patreon. So, Scott, I think you're awake enough to do this. We'll see.
I'm going to try my best. Hey, thank you one and all to our Patreon patrons. If you would so consider becoming a Patreon patron, just log on to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast and think about giving us a couple bucks a month. It just goes right back into the production of the show. I'm going to use a little bit of it to buy me some extra caffeine so I can stay awake for this show. But, anyway, special shout out to those of you who are patrons. That is Nicholas Schaefer, Ryan and the Star Joes, Cliff, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Don the Dad Dorn, who just sent me a text saying it's nice to see me again. I haven't seen him since I got back. Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine, Gavin Connor of the All Cure Holy Hour podcast, Crystal Lamphere, Brandon and Anya Epler, and AJ from the Forbidden Panel. Oh, and Fanboy Mike, who's down there too.
What's up?
As a supporter. So thank you, one and all. Don't forget, we also got a super chat going. So if you like what we're saying and you want to throw us a couple of bucks, again, even that goes right back into the production of the show. So
if you want us to do tricks, just tell us what the trick is, what's going on. If you know,
and Joey will hop right on that.
Damn straight. Want to see a
even
dance?
If you don't like what we're saying. Yeah, even if you don't like what you're saying, you can give us $1 to tell us to shut up.
Mando Mike is going to test that out just to see if it works.
$1 per 10 seconds of me quiet.
Yeah, of muting.
That ain't cheap.
After watching last week's show too, I was noticing that Chris, your beard is extra pointy, man. It's a very well.
That's because
beard.
There's a reason.
Pointy. I like it.
Thank you. We're in October. I'm getting ready for Halloween, right? Oh. So I'm Jafar on my Halloween day at my house. So I'm trying to go for the pointy look,
Commitment.
right? Older Jafar.
Very good.
But this weekend, I'm also, we'll call it a just about to be a Sith type thing. Going for a Bane, Dooku, love child type thing. So
very Dooku-ish, very awesome, awesome.
Oh, so kind of mixing up for October. By the time No Shave November comes up, I'll be ready. I'll be like,
nice. Yeah.
It's looking slick though, man. I'm digging it. So nice. Yeah.
Very, very cool. My turn, Scott.
Yeah. Dude, I don't see a stray hair at all. It's all going perfectly. Oh, no, wait, there it is.
Whoa.
There it is. There it is. All right. No, all right.
And now to our sponsor, beard conditioner, just for men.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Exactly. All right. Let's give a shout out to everybody who's being digested in the chat.
Okay, Mando Mike just sent us $20, so Joey
can work. All right, here we go.
I have no ass. I can't twerk.
Oh, Mike.
Wow.
Oh, my
God. Mike. Hey, Mike, thank you very much. I know he just got off of another Facebook suspension, so he's active.
Hey, there's a $25 return check fee, too. Just so you know. $20.
yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna have to. Well,
Dude, LA tripled our kitty.
no kidding. We have to use that for an exorcism at Ernie's house anyway. So,
All right. We're going to get him a Ouija board table.
I'm
going to drop a Ouija
that.
board
I like
off at
that.
Ernie's house.
I
that
just
would-
said that
he
before.
would
Did you?
freak out.
That
That doesn't count.
Oh my
Snoke.
goodness.
You and your Snoke.
Well, Scott, go ahead and shout out the pit as
You
we're
got it.
recovering
You got it.
from the twerking or almost the twerk that
Who's
happened.
twerking? I'm not. Who's doing it?
I've been doing it the whole time.
That's it. Those are Kegels, not twerks.
Working in your seat.
All right. In shit. In the chat, we've got, or in the pit, we've got Miss Sunflower, Gordon, Bootleg Joe, and myself. We're also in there monitoring, making sure things don't get all wacky.
That's
in
right.
there. Papa Schmitty, Santo1414, Matt Logic, Julianne Fernie coming at us from Alaska, Mando Mike, who's giving us money to dance like we have butts.
Look, I would totally do it, but I have no pants on, Mike, and it's not the time. Okay, we're
That's
live.
even better.
No, then it goes to the OnlyFans account, and we're not linked.
and Rick Jones, who says Ernie must have gotten haunted after the spooktacular.
Must have.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
This is-
thanks
yeah,
everybody.
it was pretty
Keep the
spooky.
conversation going because it
Yeah.
just gets entertaining over there. I really enjoy.
Yeah,
Really enjoy the side chat.
the side chat's always fun. Always fun. You know what's also before we get into like Andor and stuff. You know what's coming out next week that it just kind of like hit me again.
Yep.
Tales from the Jedi.
Damn straight. Ernie!
Hey,
I'm back.
Did
Thank
the
you.
Ouija-
right,
did-
yes.
Hey, did the Ouija board get delivered on time? Is that what's going on?
That don't even mess. That's probably what it was. I
Yeah.
couldn't hear anything, man. I just had to totally like reset and everything.
Yeah, you were like staring off in a we're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
well,
They
just so
got
you
'em.
know, Ernie, Mando Mike gave us $20 in the super chat to see you twerk.
You personally. Yeah.
You personally. It
He called
says
you out. Yeah, it
Fallen
says right
Fed
there.
has to twerk whenever he
Really?
comes back.
I
Yeah.
don't see that in
Absolutely.
the.
Yeah,
don't-
yeah. We even
just
brought him on for a
comment.
second since you weren't here to just make sure
Yeah.
that it was Ernie
was-
specifically.
Ernie,
Might have to be at the
Fallen
end of the
Fed.
show.
Okay,
Yeah.
end of the show.
Not
Got
seeing
it.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the after credit scene like She-Hulk. We'll just all twerk.
There you go.
There we go.
Got it. You stay
That's-
tuned after.
That's what it
That's
has
right.
to be.
That's right.
Shit, you know it's going to happen now.
Can we do
Right.
a post-credit scene? I think we can do a post-credit
can.
scene.
Yeah.
will.
We're gonna have to now. I mean,
Going to now.
that's a thing.
No,
I'm
But
down.
yeah. So next
holy
week,
shit,
guys,
get this
we
back on the track, man.
I
What
know.
did
I'm
you do
trying.
here?
I'm
We're all
trying.
over the fucking place. There's
Sorry,
no
I'm
wonder
good.
I'll
Hey,
use it.
I'm good.
So next week we're doubling up on shows, right? Next week we got
Yes.
Tales from the Jedi on Wednesday, but all of it. I think all of it, not a
Yeah, all of it.
It's a dump, which is going to be awesome. So we'll be breaking that down, of course, and I don't know if I'll be staying up to midnight to watch all of those.
No.
You know, I'll do Andor, and then I'll try to watch.
Hey, early reviews are really solid on those. Not that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
wouldn't be, right? It's a Filoni animated type deal. But I mean, like, really, like, lore heavy type stuff. Like, it gives you good insight into the Jedi and Sith type, these characters, like things you wouldn't know. So, I mean, that's really cool, right? It's like not rehashed stuff. It's like important things to the lore, is what I'm hearing. So,
yeah,
I'm
and each
super
one's like
pumped.
5 minutes, right? So we could essentially. I
No,
think
they
are.
range. They I saw a
they
runtime
range.
and they're
Oh,
like
yeah.
15 to 17
Yeah.
minutes long.
Yeah.
Because I know we saw the first episode was only like 5-6 minutes long.
I think you were just excited in there. I think that was a good 10, 12 minutes. Dude, what do you...
Was it that long?
Yeah, I mean, geez. How long's it
I
been,
mean-
Marco? You can't even time that kind of shit. Come on.
Was I that excited for it? I
I
don't-
must have
Yeah.
been. He's like, ooh, that was
When
only
you get
5
that
minutes.
excited, it's usually 2 to 5
More,
minutes.
more
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like, bro, that was 20 minutes. What are you talking about?
Right.
How quick
And
that was?
you mistake it for an hour.
I can't go anywhere.
Sweating, heart so fast. I understand the excitement, Marco.
Yeah,
You thought
I-
it was
I-
an hour.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, whoa. So we'll have to see how we break that down next week too. That's exciting. So everybody prepare for that. We've got 7 days waiting in line for that one too. Other than that, we've been just kind of trudging along with all the great TV that's out there and all the good stuff. And guys, and I cannot. To me, Andor is getting better and better and better every freaking episode. I don't know if it's like, say, if you still got you guys kind of like grasped or whatever, or if it's, if it's watering down for you guys, I don't know. But to me, I'm still like, how can a show say like do so much by doing so little? per episode, right? We don't need the explosions, we don't need the saber battles, everything, but it's doing so much that I was like, this might have been the most important episode of the entire series so far.
It changed some things I wasn't considering.
Yeah.
It changed kind of the way I was seeing the setup of this rebellion, for sure.
Yes, 100%.
And to take away like this episode, I stopped out 2 weeks ago when the episode that was kind of dull came on. I think that the week after last week, at that point, I decided I'm just watching this as one show, one movie, right?
Yes.
And I'm just pausing it each week, and it's not like this episode is better than this. It's how is the movie going, or how is this story going? And,
right, because that's how it ends.
Yeah,
Boom.
it's progressing really well. And I think now we're, we keep saying every week, oh, it's about to kick off. It's about to get crazy, right? I don't know if it ever will get crazy.
Well, crazy in the sense of like Michael Bay action pack kind of stuff. Yeah. Because as I'm watching these episodes, and everybody in the chat, let us know about your thoughts about where we're at currently in the Andor series too, and how, if you're not having it or if you're into it, it's like I said, it did so much that it's like, well, I don't even need it, because in my head I'm playing out this bigger picture what's going on. We mentioned last week about the repercussions of what Andor's actions were, that the heist, how it did. Remember I said, like, this is going to wake up the Empire. This is really going to like make them open their eyes and be like, oh crap, there's more than just pockets of resistance going on, and they're going to have to tighten their grip. They're going to have to they're going to have to be more Empire or more Imperial than they are. And right away it did, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know it's kind of getting to the end of it, but when Rail had said, they've been choking us slowly, we're starting not to notice. They want the people hurt. They want the Empire being Imperial. They want them to go. And I don't know how I feel about that now. Right? Because that was kind of a weird. That was a weird thing to say.
It's straight out of the Saw Gerrera playbook. I see Rail as funding Saw Gerrera and his partisans, because obviously Mon Mothma and Rail are not on the same page here, and it's just whenever they start going off and arguing about I can't believe you did it, that kind of thing. I'm thinking, okay. All this talk, he is straight up Saw Gerrera. This is Saw Gerrera's fight right here. So
there's the two factions of the Alliance, the Rebel.
More than two they had mentioned before, but yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mind Frame, the more militant, which Mon Mothma frowns upon. She was more diplomatic and getting the hearts and minds, but at the same time, it's not getting anywhere, right? And Luthen is like, we got it. This is the only way to get people to uprise. And
that's his first name. I keep thinking his last name, and I couldn't remember his first name.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out names, and going.
I have a lot of them.
So, but even like when the Cassian's mom, he goes back and visits her, and it's like she's like, I've made up my mind because of the actions, because they're outside my door now. I'm not going to just turn the other cheek and just let these things happen because of the shakeup. I'm doing it. So the plan is working. And again, those two mindsets. And I think Mon is going to come around in a way. I don't think she's going to be militant, but she's going to come around and accept the fact that this is a good thing that happened in their cause. But there's also going to be some civil infighting there, because obviously events of Rogue One, Saw Gerrera's group, and I think Luthen again. Yeah, I think Luthen's not going to make it till. I don't think he's going to be alive, but at the same time, it's going to shake it all up, man. I think whatever happens to him is probably going to be the driving force that takes Mon Mothma down the road of actually becoming more militant, because we all know what happens in Return of the Jedi. She's putting together attacks on battle stations and Andor and the whole bit. She's the drive. Even you look back now at Return of the Jedi, whenever she's giving that speech and she's talking about many Bothans died, you see the regret in her eyes, and it's like, okay, they're building up to that with her character in this too. She does not want to do what needs to be done, but she's resigned to the fact that she has to do it at that point. It's not.
Yeah, they've made that speech and her tone and her cadence and everything in there really means something now.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So you're totally right, because she's a little bit more. I don't know, how do you use optimistic sounding kind of now, right? She has that tone about her, but you're right. When you hear her in Return of the Jedi, it's a very solemn, down.
Very somber.
The time has come. A time for our attack has come. It's not, let's go get it type of thing. Where I feel like she might almost be there now. But and what I found interesting in there was when you talked about the factions, she called herself, or he called her, a separatist, right?
Yes.
She said she was leading the separatists, and I was like, whoa.
So it was because I had to pause it and rewind it, and she said she's dealing with the separatist planets. They bring them back in line. So I'm sure she's hearing more of that sympathetic why they broke off. It wasn't just it wasn't just the conniving of the Sith Lords. It was, they actually thought it was the Republic we needed to break away from them, and so yes, I'm sure she has that in her ear the whole time. She's a political bureaucrat. She is. We'll go at this. It's like she's on the path of like, look, I'm going to basically change people's hearts and minds through the means of diplomacy. And Luthen's like, time's done. We can't do that no more. Yeah. You're trying to get funds for our cause. I'm getting funds for our cause, but I'm doing it the hard way, and you're doing it the way it's just lingering.
You're slow.
Lingering.
I don't have time for your nonsense.
I also think that Luthen knows what he's really dealing with, where she might not. I think through what he does for a living, collecting artifacts and all that, I think he might recognize or just flat out know that he's dealing with a Sith Lord, or there's somebody in power that had the ability to wipe out the Jedi, and he knows that it can't be won through diplomacy, where she still has that spark of hope. Yeah, that it can be won. So,
I agree with that. I think he probably feels a more sinister thing. Like, for example, he probably wants to, like, if he had it his way, he'd wipe the entire imperial sediment out. I mean, murder done. She was and she won't do that. She's like, no. It's like, okay, we invade this country, but they're going to be our civilians after this, so we have to, you can't kill them all, kind of deal. So there again, those butting heads, it worked because this is still new and it's still fun, because sometimes Star Wars rushes it, and it's like, oh, okay, they're alliance, and now they're doing these things, and because everybody wants the familiarity, right? They want that battle, that scene of them all in front of the table doing their plans, but never seen the turmoil of creating this entity. We've done a very good job on the Imperial switch because of Bad Batch. Bad Batch showed us a lot of that switch over from Republic to Empire, and the resentment and fighting and acceptance, all that stuff, getting and thrown into a basket. Is same goes for the rebellion. Same thing. It's like, now we got to get everybody on the same page.
It's really easy to throw an empire together as far as them getting in order in line, because you have somebody forcing the issue, right? So with a rebellion, you have to find people in the dark and the shadows that you can trust. Talk to them in silence and hope they don't turn on you, because you'll be executed for treason. Type of thing, right? So going into the Empire, you're going to say, hey, I'm going into the Imperial Academy. Hey, I'm going to sign up to be a trooper. Hey, you can be very open about your views in that case. Yeah. You can't be open about your rebellion, obviously. Yeah. So all these guys have to be very, it's a slower moving thing. So you don't get that, like you're talking about, you don't get a boardroom, a bunch of people together. You've got to go one by one. So here we go with the two people bringing factions together. And I do think that Rael is the one that started the whole damn thing right at this point, right? It really sounded like.
He found a senator.
Saz did, but
he found a senator in Mon Mothma for sympathetic to his cause. And they're like going like, I want to do this. She's like, okay, I'm going to do it this way. He found her, I believe. And
who's the third then? Who's the third?
Yeah. So she even mentioned it. And again, this episode, only 3 people know.
And
I'm thinking Bail Organa, but
Bail or Saul, man. It's really hard to think.
Yeah. Saul would be.
I would think Rael would be with Saul.
Yeah.
I would think Rael. Wow. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm thinking Rael and Saw would be together. Bail and Mothma would be together. I would think those.
So we thinking factions. A third faction altogether?
I know they said people. Like only 3 people know. So I'm like, who did they not bring in the fold yet? Is Bail not in the fold yet? I think he is. In all the books, he's in the fold. Yeah. Or Saw, which doesn't make much sense either. Really,
no, I
would put my money on Bail.
Yeah. Bail makes the most sense because he was in it in Revenge of the Sith. He knew exactly what was happening thanks to Yoda and Obi-Wan and the whole bit, and being a part of that. The taking care of the kid and Leia, and I think he knows everything. Whether or not he is the third person they're talking about, I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's that leadership role of the third person kind of deal. Bail, meaning that, yeah, Gordon, the chess move was smart. Force the Empire to show their true brutality. It is the only way, honestly, at this point, to fast forward into the purpose of using Andor and using, little pockets of here and there. And
you don't really hear about, like he said, chess move, right? You don't hear about the rebellion sacrificing people.
Right.
They're using these people as pawns. Some the people that's not the style we would be used to. Right. No. So that's what's really cool about the show. Is
not yet, right? Not yet. It's because early on, it's that gray area of we don't know who to trust. Like you said, with this, and it's that deep pocket thing that's like, I don't know who to trust. Can I even trust myself to walk through these corridors and not say something that's going to get me killed and blow the whole cover?
She can't trust the people who should be the closest to her husband and her child,
Right.
Those are two people she should be able to trust with things, but her husband would throw her to the wolves in a heartbeat.
And she told, what's his name, her banker friend, right? Whoa. He said, here comes Perrin. You can't trust him. I'm like, damn, they are really in it. I mean, awesome, we haven't seen it yet, but an arranged, messed up marriage.
Yeah.
And Lita, how unoriginal can that name be?
Talk about paranoia, though. I mean, not paranoid, but I mean, to that fact of smile.
Oh,
I love that.
She kept saying that because what is
the front up,
do?
Keep it up, yeah.
And then when she went and met Luthen at the thing of did you like that?
It's all a charade.
No, I think what you're saying is awesome because I think she learned. I bet she learned that from Rail. Like they did it automatically, right? Yeah. They were into it. So they've done this whole smile bullshit before, right? Yeah. So when she did it with him, it's like, oh, I'm gonna train somebody what Rail taught me. Same thing. Keep smiling. I
love the shot of always going out to the driver.
Yes,
out there, and he's looking. I mean, you see the hand gestures and the smile and the.
Also,
I loved it.
It's crazy.
What about the whole hiding in plain sight? There's a room full of Imperial sympathizers in that entire room, and she's pulling out their childhood friend, basically trying to tell him that this is not me. I'm doing something bigger than this, whatever, in front of all these people. But like Ernie said, smile, keep it up, keep the charade up. We're talking. But basically, look in my eyes and read what I'm really telling you here.
Yeah,
hiding in plain sight is like the brilliant move to me too. It's like when I was watching this episode again, it's like, man, that's gutsy.
It's a spy thriller. It's a spy thriller move. And
when you're hiding, you're gonna get caught. She's not hiding. It's like, again, it's like, I'm gonna tell you something, and I just want you to smile, and you're just gonna have to
even to the point of they get upset.
But what's funny is,
go ahead, Joe.
But what's funny is the way she was like when she first tried to start telling him. He was like, no, I don't want to hear it because you're not going to, like, basically saying you're not going to agree with my, and all along he's feeling the same way that she's feeling.
Right. And so I think she fed off that. Yeah.
Or is he playing her? I don't think he's playing her.
No, I
don't think so either.
There has to be some people in the circle that's going to trust the rebellion to grow. You know what I mean? Not everybody has to have that. Yeah. So she's a good choice of character, I believe. The character is a good choice of other people bringing into their circle, trusting. There's only 3 people that I've told this to. You could be the 4th kind of deal. She's not really saying she's going about saying I need my money, but my husband can't know, basically. And it's for this other cause that what'd she say? A shadow. She said something like a shadow team that I'm trying to fund.
She just said she was just trying to get her family
fortune.
Yeah, but there was for a reason she's funding like a shadow team of something. But she didn't come out and
hear
say
that. She wasn't telling him anything. She said it's best not to know.
Yeah,
she said I just need the money. I need your help, and
there's verbiage there. I'll have to put that in maybe in the chat or something. I'll bring that up. But Gordon.
Ernie was going to make a point there. What were you going to say?
Oh, sorry, Ernie.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Ernie.
Oh, about how being out in the open of all her things, they annoy the Empire. It's annoying to them, all her little charity stuff and like that.
Yeah.
That's how she's able to hide and be in the front. That's why the friend was thinking that of like, you don't want to hear what I have to say because it goes against everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
I think that was her ticket into, okay, I can tell you, I know I can trust you.
the quote that started that conversation about show him in plain sight, which is what I love. She's all, I learned from Palpatine. She's all, show him the stone in your hand so they don't see the knife at your throat. And I was like, wow, that was really cool and such an accurate, a cool description of how Palpatine runs it.
Do they know that he's a Sith Lord?
I hope that comes out.
At this point.
Now, at this point, they've never said anything. No. Yeah. But I think Marco's point about Rail, or Luthen Rail, right? If he is a collector and he's figured it out, it would be kind of cool. I think it would be cool if somebody knew there was a Sith Lord in charge.
Like, he's got his suspicions, but he can't come out and say it yet because everybody might think he's nuts.
Well, no, they do know. There's no way they don't know. There's no way. Because Bail Organa knows.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Bail knows. So when we get the confirmation that the third party is
Scott,
Bail,
just speak up.
I did, but that's okay.
What do you say?
We'll give him a point. He said he said it. So
oh my goodness, are we doing that? All right,
yes.
let me give him a point. Ding him a point.
But yes, Bail was there in 3, so he totally knows. So they got to know.
Yeah. The people in the chat, I'm paying attention to you guys too. The everything, the dialogue is superb. It's like when Mon Mothma when she's talking, I'm just like more again doing so much and saying so little, right? It's great. Well, let's jump around here a little bit. So let's get into Cyril, right? So Cyril.
Cereal eating his cereal again.
Cyril is loving those Lucky Charms or the
tricks. It's the tricks trolls.
Yeah, trick
Imperial shame puffs.
Yeah, this is great because the more who was it? Was it Gordon that talked about the cinematography? Yeah, Gordon and cinematography, because everything in this show is the old new Star Wars thing that we've all loved, the used universe, right? Everything is kind of archaic, but in the future, right? Even the TV news HoloNet thing was in a tube TV. It looked like,
yeah,
you know,
HoloNet Live was cool.
Yeah. It was. I just love that. It goes back to like the 70s futuristic Star Wars that we all know, right? And so that attention to detail is very, very important for all of us, I think.
So is that droid in the corner of the room like their version of a Roomba? Because it almost looks like an R2 unit, but with a Captain Rex head. And
it's a 3D print project that Cyril's been working on for a few years to make an R2 unit.
Very funny, Dr. Jones.
I like that. That's awesome.
I love that conversation with her, man. She is just nasty, right? Whatever this family is. But I love she was giving him shit for wearing a brown suit while wearing a brown suit.
And a high collar.
And a high collar.
What's with the
I
collar?
just can't get enough. I just keep seeing Norman Bates here.
Yeah.
I really do. The way he sits, I'm like, seriously, after this one, I'm like, he's going to kill her.
Dude,
he's just gonna snap her neck or something. Like, she don't stop at all.
If he went into like psycho mode, that would be like a crazy twist I wouldn't see coming, right? Like, he went into psycho serial kill, and he's eating cereal the whole time, and he goes into serial killer mode.
His name is Cyril.
Foreshadowing.
He's eating cereal.
Oh my God, they've been telling us the whole time. It's been tricks the whole time. We're in. It's that's it. He's gonna be a serial killer, and we're gonna.
I bet you tell me, Mother. Like all the time, the whole collar.
Mother
man.
doesn't approve. Miss Sunflower, can someone tell Cyril's mom to chill because she's getting on my nerves a little bit? They're a very imperial family. She's accepted the role of the government, and she's very staunch. She even mentioned when Cyril's look, what happened? Oh, did you know about the heist? You go, but they'll pay for interfering with imperial kind of stuff. That was her sentiment. That was they're very hardline family, you know, and she plays that role very well, you know, and I think he wants to be that. Like, we talked about his character kind of being sympathetic and maybe seeing the rebellion as the better cause, but now I think he's just like so adamant to prove himself, you know, that even as mom's like, my son has got to be in the top schools and all that stuff. Like, brown suit. Do you know what a brown suit really says to your interviewer? You know, and it's like very rules and
she says it says a lot of things. Yeah, whatever. We don't even know what it says, but she says you're saying
no, but I bet you're gonna tell me.
Yeah, what?
Their relationship is actually it's interesting to follow.
Can I get some eggs tomorrow, Mom? The cereal.
Oh, well, let's talk about the biggest Easter egg drop in this series so far, in my opinion.
The Gungan shield. Oh no, sorry.
No,
Yes,
this guy.
not even an Easter egg. That's just an awesome appearance. About damn time.
So this is Yularen. For those of you who don't know who Yularen is, Chris or Scott or anybody, go ahead and enlighten everybody. And see, this guy has been in Star Wars in live action, by the way, too. Not same actor.
Yularen's basically the running the show at the ISB at the Security Bureau, right? We first saw him in Episode 4. He was around the conference room table there with the crew, right? And you've seen him walking later on in it too, but not much, right? So when they went back to the Clone Wars era, they went ahead and made Yularen basically, what was he, the admiral on Anakin's ISD, right? So he was around the entire Clone Wars with Anakin, with Vader basically the entire time in Ahsoka. So having him there, and he was in Rebels as well, helping on Lothal a little bit, and with Tarkin, and with, of course, this is my next level, my next connection to Grand Admiral Thrawn, because right about here, about 5 years before A New Hope, he is he is helping Thrawn at this point, right? Rise in the ranks. He's one of his confidants, I would say, one of the trusted people Thrawn has in his career, and there aren't many, right? So Yularen is there, so that's the next link in the chain to get to him. But when we're ISB, the first day we saw ISB, all of us were thinking, where's Yularen? Because he's running this joint. There's no way you don't walk into Yularen's office. Yeah. And there he was. So, boom. Voice is a little different, but you know what? Don't give a damn. We have a live-action Yularen again. He looks pretty close to the A New Hope version. He might go, Scott, what'd you say? He's a little plumpier?
Plumper, a little, yeah. He's, of course, much younger, but, you know, so, age and dealing with the Death Star and the Palpatine's got to age you a little bit.
Right. But Yularen's a really cool character because he's one that's just loyal to, he was Republic through and through. Right? Yeah. He's just loyal to the government, and he's loyal to his job. I never took him as evil, though he came off a little harder in this one, but I never took him as Imperial. But we are 15 years post Revenge of the Sith, right? So we're 15 years into the Empire's reign, so him getting changed up a little bit is not uncommon. Well, and he name dropped Palpatine first. He named
that's what I'm saying.
I spoke to the Emperor. Mm-hmm. There aren't many people in the Empire that actually go and speak to Palpatine. Yeah, right, you're going to have his advisors, Vader, Thrawn, Yularen, maybe a few other Moffs, right? So that's pretty huge. Tarkin. I spoke to the Emperor myself, name dropping him in the room, so shut up.
Yeah, loved it. And this is probably why he came on really strong, because he just got his ass chewed. And then he was like, and basically he's like, all right, we're all in charge here, and this is, and he just gave that speech, and I was like, man, I just got off the phone with Palps, and we're all in trouble. And he basically echoed what I said last week. I'm taking credit for this one, Scott. Okay. We said last week about being Empire being more Empire. He basically said it. He echoed it. We're tightening our grip. We're going to charge taxes 5 times as much of what they stole from sectors that are a little bit defiant. We're going to do that. We're tightening everything.
We're going back after old fines people owe us and making them do in full now, right? And they jacked up all the sentences on anything Imperial related, like even remotely screwing with the Empire. Your sentences just went sky high. You're going to prison for a long time, which
we'll see. We'll play into exactly. That'll play into that too. Miss Sunflower, please let us get a Tarkin cameo. I think because of Yularen, it's very possible. I was hoping a Palpatine cameo.
I think this just this opens the door to me to see a boardroom meeting with all of them. I mean, I'm always into this. I'm always into this Jedi Council chamber I wanted to see before, and now I want to see this Imperial Council where you've got that whole room full again, right? And you get them all in there, but all the admirals.
I'm expecting a Senate scene of just him in the middle. He doesn't even have to talk. He's just sitting there as Mom Mothma is talking, or what, maybe because she does make those allegations to Palpatine directly, and that basically causes her to get a price on her head. I'm hoping that we do see this in this series, in season 1, season 2, whatever.
I hope not, because I don't want to bring it too close to home with us when it cuts to him and he goes, "This bitch."
and for those of you who need to know, that's Yularen right there to the left.
Right.
Well,
very
the
cool
Death Star scene. So
that's him.
Just a little
5 years later.
Different actor. I mean, but very cool though. I mean, that was unexpected. Like I said, I thought they were just gonna play it safe and just like, we're not gonna throw in big cameo. To us, it's a big cameo.
We did have another character or character type introduced too.
Yes.
Right near the end,
we did.
hanging around with them. If you got a picture of that, that'd be cool because we got a KX Imperial droid, which is the model of K2SO.
Yep.
So, not saying this is K2SO. Obviously, it's not. But
not right.
But to get Cassian interacting with the KX droid, gets us one step
badass,
closer
dude.
There,
They are badass. It's Star Wars doesn't have a lot of droids that are like Terminator type droids, right? When we saw this in the Night of 1,000 Tears, right? These are the assassin droids, basically blowing up Mandalore and stuff. And now when we get to this scene, they are so cool. The whole choke slam, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're all over the place.
So at first, it was kind of jarring, right? This transition, right? Like all of a sudden, he's on a beat. He escapes or he leaves, and now he's just strolling on this planet,
loaded with new aliens too. Aliens
so
I'd
cool.
never seen before. Really interesting.
He's in Miami.
You seriously?
Yeah, and of course he gets caught up in whatever's these what's it, anti-speech Imperial speech guys. He just gets pretty much lumped into them. Shore troopers catch him and whatnot. But this kind of took me aback a little bit. Like, what? Oh, okay. So was this a flash forward? Is this a time
scene?
jump?
Yeah, this is the only scene that threw me off. I'm like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah,
right
like
now?
it was.
I feel like this went up like a good 6 months or so. Like it felt like it's been months' time. He's with a new girl. He's been
there a while. Yeah, new
so
identity.
It's safe to say it could be a time jump, a small time jump right here.
And I thought we were having a flashback.
I thought so too.
At first,
I thought at the end of this, when Cyril's looking up, I thought he was looking into Andor's past, and he's basically reading, and we're getting to see. That's what my mind immediately jumped to. But what you guys just said about the whole tightening of the grip and larger sentencing and stuff, it kind of confirms to me that this was a small time jump. Andor, and this is the way for him and K2 to get reprogrammed.
And even when they gave his sentence, they said this. Oh, that's too bad. This used to be 6 weeks.
That's right. Yeah.
So Andor got paid and he went on vacay according to Sunflower.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was kind of abrupt, but yeah.
You know what was hilarious about this part was I was like, are they literally just there sitting down staring at the water? That's crazy. And then I'm like, wait, that's exactly what we do. We just do it on sand. Right. Because wasn't it weird, though, like to see it from our perspective of how they were sitting there? And I'm like, so are they watching a show or what's going on? And then when it panned and there's, I don't know, ocean or whatever you want to call it there.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they doing? Yeah. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, so that's what we look like?
That's what we look
fancy?
like.
And you know what? And it was such a better idea than our idea of sitting in the sand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's way cleaner.
Like
and the whole
sand gets everywhere.
And how there was levels to everything to watch it. But I really was. I was like, what show are they watching or what's going on? And then it literally hit me and I'm like, that's us. Okay.
Yeah.
We just sit there and watch the water too.
Mando Mike is saying something about the probe droids. Those weren't the Imperial
Viper
probe
droids, weren't they?
Yeah, they look like more
ones,
like exactly like Rick Jones is saying Viper droids.
Yeah,
that's what I kind of put in my head. They weren't, they were the
they had a couple of things
versions.
Dangling off them, wasn't enough legs. It was I caught the same thing. I'm like, damn, those look tiny. Then I'm all, it's just a smaller probe droid.
Yeah, it's just a different variation of that. We've seen many in that. So yeah, like Kate. So the what are they called? The Kate KX droids, right? Yeah, awesome. Again, a foreshadowing of the buddy team coming up. Shore troopers again.
Nothing
my favorite
says buddy like getting choked out by your best pal.
I love it.
Exactly.
Like, he didn't mean hang me here.
Well, see, here's
hang out here.
And this, okay, so this could mean two things, right? Like, I mean, it's a kind of a far stretch to be like, okay, that's K2, that's the droid that he's going to program all this stuff. But at the same time, Andor's recognizing that they're not that well and like meaning what, like following orders. Like he said, just watch me. And this guy's, all of a sudden he's choking me out here. So I think he sees a flaw in the programming for him to do that. And that's probably why
they're dumb and they're minimally programmed, right? Like
yeah. So he's
like kind of like a super battle droid.
Yes.
The way they talk and think, right? They're not like a battle droid that has freer thought You know what I mean? Like a B1. When you talk about the B2s, the bigger ones, by the time you get into Revenge of the Sith, and they're that whole what they say horribly, like their grammar is all bad and everything's horrible. And,
what nothing.
Yeah, that nothing. That's how I see a KX droid right there. A little dumber. You know?
Yeah.
I'm glad your cat's facing that way though for us.
Yeah, exactly. Scott's got a great view of the chat.
Oh yeah, Scott doesn't have the view we have.
Nope.
Whoa.
Oh man,
that's what she thinks about that. What Rusty thinks about that.
That's right.
And of course the sentencing, like he gets charged for completely. I mean, for what? What did he get charged?
Wrong
for?
place, wrong time.
Anti-imperial sentiment and whatever the hell.
Yeah.
This is great too.
Yeah, take it up with the emperor.
I didn't do
want
anything.
That fan. I want that
too,
fan.
Right?
Me too.
Awesome.
I'm a huge fan of that fan.
Imperial logo in the middle. That is great.
That's an Imperial logo on the out too. It's an Imperial logo inside an Imperial logo.
Yeah,
it's
so cool.
Completely meta. I'm in this. I need this fan.
Yeah. Well, this
3D print me a fan, Marco.
You got it.
He's got it. He's got it in line right after the R2 unit.
Yeah, you got it. It's. Oh man, but this scene was again. It just shows the importance of everything that we just learned.
Empire just smacking. We talk about that every week, right? How about the Empire's got to get this throat around their necks?
Yeah,
literally and figuratively. And this is it, man. Like I said in the beginning, like they said in the beginning, tighten it up, make them suffer, and this is what everybody wanted.
Yeah.
So he gets for this. He gets what, 6 years sentence?
6 years. Yeah.
6 years for literally doing nothing. There was just people running on the same beach he happened to be on.
Yeah.
Right.
Him. Oh, you know what? Him and the Shore Troopers interaction was pretty. The Shore Trooper was complete douche, right?
Yeah.
That caught him. He's
Why are you sweating?
You're looking around. What are you doing? What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm looking around. I'm seeing what's going on. Why do you care? Yeah. Why are you sweating? What are you doing?
Right.
Wow. This guy's being a complete dick. I love it.
He's got a quota, he's got to pull over so many people. And,
that was a pretty good Stormtrooper interaction. Trying to think back, do we have that many great Stormtrooper interactions?
Not like that.
Not like that at all.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Because it seemed like he was getting more pissed with the answers that he was giving him. I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
And he just kept on and on.
Yeah, they were frustrating each other. Yeah. And it was like,
he was getting arrested no matter what. Even if he remained silent, it was like done.
Hey, you know what was a jarring scene, Marco? You said jarring about that jump. Our flashback scene was kind of jarring.
Oh,
where it went to the clone troopers to the Stormtrooper, right? That was a jarring bit because I couldn't tell what was happening for half a second. But
especially since he was the same age at first. It's like, wait, what? What's happening here?
Yeah,
because from the back, he was meant to look like a younger kid, a teenager in front of his adopted father. And when we're showing in front, it's
is that who that guy was?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh, how did I
Clem?
Who's Clem?
I didn't think about
Clem.
his. Oh,
yeah. So he's basically looking back because she mentioned too. His mom even mentions he was hung at the town square as an example because of something. Again, he wouldn't do this. People were throwing rocks at the troopers and they turned and made an example out of him. He was trying to stop it. And she even said, she goes, I can't go down the alley where he was hung because
I missed that part. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I do remember now. You got it. She's tired of doing that.
I didn't realize his name was Clem though.
Me neither.
Me neither. Yeah. So that's how.
That's why he said call me Clem.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch that episode where it introduced him to see if it mentioned his name.
And and I thought they gave him the name Clem. I forgot he chose the name Clem.
He chose it, right.
Yeah. And here's the thing too is I'm sorry, but literally they still kidnapped him.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they did.
They did. And to the point of, will you please stop looking for your sister?
Yeah. No, they kidnapped him. They kidnapped him, but
they did.
She said something like, I'm not going to leave him here to get slaughtered by the Empire.
Which is true.
Whatever,
so she's
right?
only guessing, but at the same time of stop looking for your sister.
She knew it was coming.
Yeah.
With that whole thing. And she took him to get stopped because she told him basically I'm staying. We're talking about his adopted mom. I'm staying and I'm joining the rebellion, right? And Andor's like, what the hell? Let's just go. And then as soon as he said, she's like, where are we going to go? There are empires everywhere. He goes, somewhere warmer. I'm like, not Tatooine. Not going to Tatooine. I'm like, here we go. We're going to Tatooine. But
and we're going to see Kenobi. We're going to see young Luke. Oh my God.
I heard he used to have water there. So
Well, isn't Solo on
the Dune
Tatooine at
Sea?
this
We're gonna
point?
go see the Dune Sea.
yeah,
I hear it's lovely.
it's great this time of year.
Dirt.
But a good dialogue, because when he goes he comes back to the planet where he was at, and he basically is paying
Ferrex.
off his debt. Yeah, Ferrex, thank you. And can you again? I'm really trying with names. His old girlfriend, whatever was her name again? Bix, thank you. When he goes to confront her, not confront, but see her and pay off his debts and everything, he asks her, Luthen, basically, like, how does he know everything about me, right? And because he obviously does, and just basically, if you see him, tell him I'm done. Well, I did my bargain stuff. So it got me thinking, like, how does he know everything about Cassian? Is it because of his mom? Is it because of those two? Is it, what I mean? There's a question there to be asked. Like, if she didn't tell him, who that is. And like I said, my first thing, because she knew of the resistance on that planet as is, or like there's people that not wanting the Imperials here. I'm joining them. Was she the one grooming Andor for Luthen moving forward? I don't know. I don't know if I get that yet out of the series. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to formulate a theory on that, because he knows everything about Luthen knows everything about Andor.
That's tough, because they've been building this spy network, right? That's what they were talking about with Mothma, and they're looking for people and recruitment.
Yeah.
So I imagine he just found him. Maybe, but how? Like, he hasn't been.
Maybe
he's watching criminal. Maybe they're looking for criminals that aren't doing violent offenses, but things that could be deemed rebellious.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what he was getting busted for. But I kind of saw him more as a thief and a shyster.
Yeah.
Luthen is really Uncle Harlow from Cyril's uncle, and he's playing.
Wouldn't
both
that be a
angles
twist?
and-
They're dragging
that
that on, right?
So dope.
Yeah, they are.
They're
dragging
it on that he's got to be somebody huge.
Oh yeah,
I think so. That we're not even trying to put together, because, again, he was mentioned. The dude mentions him from the work, and now we don't see him.
Yeah.
So that's how I took this one. Is okay. Uncle Harlow's got to be somebody.
Somebody in the higher ups that the moms of her. I'm afraid you're going to embarrass me. That to go work.
What is Palpatine's middle name? We don't know. Sheev Harlow Palpatine.
Right.
Man.
Okay, let me address the chat real fast. Okay, so Miss Sunflower is saying, how did Clem get caught? What gave him away? When the flashback happens, the clone troopers are walking, and the people behind him, Clem has got Andor, with him. The people behind him is saying, long live the Republic, and start throwing rocks at the troopers, right? And that made the troopers stop, turn around, and just kind of take aim.
It's what happened.
The father ran in between them, so they
He was
saw
trying
him
to get
as one of the
stop throwing rocks.
Yes, and he got caught up in that moment where they used him as one of the protesters too. So that it's like, again, wrong place, wrong time, trying to interfere.
To Cassian.
And
Look,
Empire doesn't care. So yeah,
I looked up Harlow Star Wars, okay, and I did this the other day. But there's this Harlow Star Wars on Wikipedia, spelled a little different with a W, but he was a Moff back then in the Katarlo sector in the Outer Rim during Imperial rule. So if they make him a Moff, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no big story about him. That was it. Like, it mentioned in the encyclopedia and it mentioned in an article in a Star Wars Insider. Yeah, that's all he was. See,
Cyril's arc is like this. He got out of training at the academy and he went right into the security sector as a supervisor. Not street smart but book smart and whatever. And he blew his first assignment, and then he get kicked all the way down to basically R&D or. Not even R&D. Like
he's a number cruncher now.
He's an auditor.
Oh, he got fired. This is a whole new career path. This is not
the
even
Imperial. It's the Imperial sector. Yeah, it's the Imperial sector, but almost like you're an auditor now. You're a numbers guy. You're gonna stare at a screen.
And not even fuel weight balances. The dude's in fuel efficiency and redundancy. It's like, oh. And that imagine your job is to go over redundancies. All the time, dude.
And that shot. I think somebody said it in the chat with that shot of panned out and all the cubicles, and that
was neat.
Such a dystopian feel to it. Such a lonely, cold,
soul sucking.
Yeah.
You guys never worked in a call center?
No, not a call center.
I run call
Close.
centers. That is a call center. I'm all in. Those are nice cubicles. I'll take them.
They got full monitors over there.
Our
Here we
cubicles
all
are all
are saying
burgundy
that, yeah,
and
and
short
Chris
and
is all,
nasty.
this place is beautiful.
I started pricing it out. I'm like, do we have vendors that can come in here and put these cubicles in my office? These are nice.
These
I
guys
dig
got
this.
dual monitors. Look at this,
Dude. Did they?
They did.
We have dual monitors, but that would be cool if they did. I would notice. I should have noticed it.
Did you guys think that he wasn't going to end up there? Because it seemed like he's trying to tell him, I got a position for you. Your uncle talked to me. And he's going through the paper. And then he hits that point and was like, wait, what's this? And then it was like, oh, well, like you could stay here. Because it felt like they were walking to another destination, right?
I think it's temporary, Ernie. I think it was temporary because he even said, like, we'll edit this to make, what your discretions were. We'll edit this out because, why bother?
Oh, yeah, they wiped out his record. They wiped out his imperial employment record, basically.
Yeah. He's got a, like, I think that makes perfect sense if his uncle is like this
Has
big
to
shot
be.
in them.
Moff
and
makes
it's like
total sense.
Yeah, it's like my nephew. This I'll put him in the accounting department. The mail room right now.
Yeah.
So, no offense to accountants in the accounting department.
So
or mail room.
Or mail
Is he
room.
going to do Secret of My Success and move his own way up by?
Yes.
My uncle needs this letter, or
He's gonna have the
my
correct
uncle's
TPS
gonna be-
report formed cover sheets and.
Oh my god! We're gonna totally get a TPS.
If we get a TPS report,
yes, again, it'll make.
we're putting cover sheets on all new TPS reports.
Oh, you know what would be cool then? Now that you said that, if I want Bill Burr to make an appearance. I want to see that battle they were in somehow. Somehow we end up to that one that gave Bill Burr
he was
his
in Cinder.
distaste.
He was in Operation Cinder.
Oh, was he?
Or
in
he
Cinder?
knew people. Yeah, he
Oh,
said
you're right. So that's way later. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't want Bill Burr then.
Yeah, and but damn, I'm trying to think, like, we covered.
unless he looks over, Cyril looks over, and Bill Burr's there, and he's like, "Someday I'm getting out of here. I'm going to be on the front line.
One of these days, you'll see.
Yeah,
What?
We get a flashback to Mimban, and they're all there.
everybody.
Han.
Every former Imperial
Yeah.
stormtrooper is on Mimban at the same time. We just didn't know it.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about her.
Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't recognize her at first. And
Me
Me neither. I
dude.
thought I was like, who's
Yeah.
this, right?
No, you know who
But-
I thought it was, real quick? Marin from the
Game of
Night
Thrones?
Sister
okay.
from the video game. Just made up.
Yeah.
Like, so you couldn't tell it was her.
Dude, that would have been
Only
man.
because this outfit just throws it at me, and I'm
Yeah.
digging the outfit, right? Like, I'm like, oh, that's very Night Sister looking robe.
Yes,
is all. That's
absolutely. And here's Vale, all cleaned up. I think Mando
Yeah.
Mike has a crush on her. He mentioned that earlier today.
Dude, if I didn't have the captions on, I would have not. It took me a minute to realize that was Vel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is an interesting conversation, right? Like, and now, and I'm wondering if Luthen Rail knows about this, or is she working on her own? Her
I think
assistant.
she's
here.
in
Yeah.
charge, man.
I do
She's
too.
almost bossing him around.
I do. Too.
Yeah, she kind of puts him in a little place here once in every.
She
once
has
in
to
a
hear
while, right?
everything. She had the comm on in the back so she could hear what he was saying, right?
Yeah.
Here she is making this move, but they know. She says you have to go kill Cassian because we can't have Luthen's name going around.
Yeah.
You know,
And I just don't think Luthen would order that. You know what I mean? Like I said, and so maybe you guys are right about her acting separate or whatever, because he, Luthen went out of his way to be like, I came for you. Not just for this job, but to recruit you to our cause and all that stuff. And the job just happened to, go its way. But the ordering an assassin of Cassian. So now he's got the Rebel Alliance higher ups, or higher up, let's just put it this way, and a former business partner out to kill him. Or the order is there to kill him. I don't know if Vel will go after will complete that task.
She
Well,
seems
she
very
won't. She won't complete the task. I promise you that.
No, I mean, accept it. Accept
Right.
it. That's what I meant. Like,
I tell you, wouldn't it be interesting though if somehow or another this ended up being Cassian's sister?
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I honestly, so
I doubt
when
it,
opening shot,
but-
I thought it was before
Yeah.
before I found out it was her. I in my opinion, I don't know about you guys. I'd rather them just leave it at she died on the planet.
Yeah.
Like his mom said, just leave it alone. It's a.
But if they're gonna bring her back, I kind of like this idea too that they both kind of fell into the same thing. That she's hardcore rebellion and he's gonna fall in with her,
And doesn't realize that
and-
that's her brother.
but she does.
No, she does, because that would mean that that's why he has so much information on Andor,
and that she doesn't care because she's gonna kill him.
I mean, the only like I said, the reason
but that's
why
Targaryen stuff, and we're in the wrong show.
Yeah, well, that's why I brought it up. Like, why? How do they know so much? They know his prison records. They know him. They know everything about him, and but I don't know. I don't think she's his sister at all. But yeah.
Yeah, I hope the same. I hope she's just dead and they're done with it. I hope that was just a way to close it, but it's not. That's foreshadowing. You tell somebody to stop looking for something or stop doing something, they're going to do it twice as hard. No. He's going to go twice as hard looking for his sister now. It's going to happen. Maybe he'll get into the Imperial database somehow. K2 will crack into it when he gets K2 somewhere in the next 5 years.
Yeah, maybe he'll get confirmation of it somehow, some way, right?
Yeah, or confirmation she's dead at least.
Yeah, it's just like for me and how the story goes and how just so well written this show is. I don't think it's a fleeting mention, but I think he will do some digging. But I do believe she died on that planet, and he's probably going to propel him because there's got to be things that drive him.
The propel will be his mom dying still, dude. Marva's toast.
But he's going to find out probably how everybody on Cassie died. Not Cassie. Canary. Died, and it might be an Imperial bombardment. That's another notch. And his mom getting killed by Imperials. Another notch.
It was a mining accident.
Could be, but there's also, the Imperials are known for taking slave labor, and you've got a bunch of children that you could easily overpower.
Yeah.
I don't see them necessarily just wiping out the planet whenever they go to investigate.
Well, I don't think it was a direct, like, we're going to wipe this planet out. There might have been a battle there because those were separate. That was a separatist crew on a Republic ship in the first episode. So maybe we won't even revisit that at all. I don't know. Like the way
I thought we would have already by now. I thought we would have seen something about that.
Yeah,
you would think.
The creator did say like the next 3 episodes are a complete different arc from what we've been seeing. So that would be like, okay, maybe Cassian's out digging up his past. That could be a thing. But there's got to be a change in him coming up. It's got to be a switch in him that's going to be like, I'm fighting for a cause now rather than myself. And he's got to lose everything. And we talked about this, right? Losing his mom, his friends. Yeah.
He's already lost his dad. He's lost his family. He's lost his sister, as far as he knows. He's told to forget his sister. He's about to lose Marva, but B2 could be the linchpin. He could be dead. They could have fried him in his little wireless charger, and that could be the one that throws him off. Who knows? I love B2 emo, by the way. Can I talk now?
B2 is great.
She's all no.
Yeah. Can I talk now? No. I wanted to know what he wanted to say. Right. Mando Mike, it's Val. Vel is in Andor. Val is in Solo.
Yeah. They're clever with their names. Bless them.
Yeah.
Val.
And yeah, who's it in Galaxy's Edge? That's Val. That's another Val, right?
Vi.
These 3-letter names. Yeah. Yeah.
If only that guy that just posted that was in the chat and in here, he could speak up and actually ask the question.
I'm looking at Mike and everything. Yeah, I'm monitoring. I'm keeping the peace.
Yes. Keeping everybody in their
keeping an eye out.
Who else is curious on what B2 had to say right then and there at that conversation?
Oh, I was.
Absolutely.
What was he going to say? Yeah. I wanted to be like, don't tell the droid to shut. What? There was something because that was a very important.
Maybe he wanted to.
He's
go
probably
with
like,
them.
yeah, I think we should leave.
Yeah, probably.
I think so. I think he wanted to bounce. He sees the Imperial stuff. That droid isn't dumb.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to fight.
And I love the fact that
he was ready.
And I love the fact that Cassian included B2 in that the 3 of us will pack up and leave. Like I love that. Like, yes, don't discredit the droid, because that's the heart and soul of Star Wars. Droids. But really good, man. Like there's like so much to like. There's still so much even in the in this scene still to unpack. Yeah. Like there really is. Yeah. There's a lot going on here, and
how many whispers are happening in that party, right? They're all paired up. So many things, so much plotting going on.
She even said the Grand Vizier's office is there. I mean, there's somebody representing the Emperor there in that room.
Yes,
dude, I tried to look for people, right? No Sly Moore,
I did too.
Masameda, no. I was hoping, dude. Yeah. I even screen capped the hell out of that other room to look for things they hid, and it wasn't much today. Yeah, but I was hoping it wasn't quite.
It makes her conversation more impactful. Like I said, talking right in front of all these people, just smile. And man,
that's my only thing with that scene is she's being so careful about how she talks around people and about how, the whole thing when she goes to the antique shop, how she has to go inside and they have to, move their hands a certain way, but she's openly talking about it with this guy in a room full of sympathizers.
Like I said, hiding
like
in plain sight.
Nobody can hear what they're saying.
Well, she's speaking
There's that
cryptic.
many plots going around.
Well, she is speaking cryptic. You know what I mean? Like she's not she's speaking cryptic, and that whole thing about like every time he starts to frown, smile, like keep it up because don't give up. What I'm saying is alarming or whatever. It's like a brilliant move to. It's basically not come out and saying I'm part of a rebellion and I need money to fund this thing, but she's doing it in this cryptic way that anybody is picking it up could mean like she just talking that
if
nonsense.
Let's just say there's one spy that's just watching her lips every single second. You don't think they're looking at her and they're like, why is she saying smile? Why is she saying this?
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
Like,
yeah.
There's even
that was my only thing about that scene.
They're in her apartment though, right? They're not like at the
they're her house
or anything, so it's all right. But like in the palace and those places, those trees that she has there, right? Those things, they have a network inside the Emperor's palace, the old Jedi temple, and those trees kind of go down and they make vibrations of the sound. And that's how a spy network works in the Imperial temple. What book was that, Scott? Was that Bloodline?
I do not remember that at all.
Oh yeah, that was a neat thing. They couldn't figure out where their information was, how it was getting out. And they're I only talk through here. And I want to say it was Bloodlines. But that palace, no, it couldn't be because...
Couldn't be Bloodlines because that was after the Empire.
That was after. So I'll figure it out. I'll find out.
Was it maybe Leia, Princess of Alderaan?
Maybe. And I'm getting my Leias mixed up.
That's interesting, though.
But it was a neat story how they couldn't figure it out. There were no spies. There were no cameras. There were no cleaning crews. They were worried about the cleaning crews being spies and the cleaning droids. But when it turned out, it was the trees.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Mando, Mike. Hard to hear over the Coldplay in the background music.
It did change when he went to the beach. The music switched.
Right? Yeah.
And it got more upbeat. Again, video gamey is how I feel like. Right? Every time I hear a Star Wars upbeat music, I immediately come to the video games. That's the only time you really hear it.
Yeah, sure.
But unless a band's playing, you get this background, and it's.
But the overall soundtrack to the show, I had mentioned it in the chat, is incredible. It's like a mixture of. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Tron soundtrack from the Tron Legacy. It's like a mixture of that with the soundtrack to Stranger Things with just a hint of...
Dude, it's Blade Runner 100%.
Coldplay?
No,
not Coldplay.
I didn't hear that.
It's Blade Runner. The dystopian, somber music in Blade Runner, that noir feeling.
Yeah.
This is all over it, especially this episode. It's all over it,
Yeah. I do like the music, but it's not...
I love it.
But I would if I put it on, it would put me.
I did a 180.
I could use it as a lullaby, right?
Yeah, I did it on a 180, Chris, because remember we all said this way back in our episode 13 that we did, right? Was like, don't change the music because Star Wars music is Star Wars music. Mm-hmm. We have our things, and then when they did it, I'm like, I'm cool with it. Like
Mandalorian soundtrack is great. This everything. The music's been great in all the shows.
Yeah, I'm like, this is great, man. I'm good. More
Obi-Wan. Right? I think the music from Obi-Wan was a little dicey at times, but I agree. This one was a lot better.
It's just because they change it so much that it's unfamiliar in our Star Wars journey. It just works because like we buy into it,
But Boba Fett is the first one to have his name shouted out in a theme too. So that was.
That was weird. That was weird.
I know that was really weird.
Hey, speaking of Boba Fett, though, the thing we hated in there made an appearance again. Did you have a screenshot of the moped?
Oh, her. I don't think we do.
I sent it over. I don't know if you have one. It's just
that one.
So had they used this, had the Mod Squad used this on Tatooine and Boba Fett, I wouldn't have said shit.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. I really do. I thought that same thing when she's sliding down the hill. I'm like, why is this working? And
it works because it fits the aesthetic, right? It's where it should be, and those are the ones they should have had on Tatooine. Yeah. But I digress.
Finally, so I mean, there's a lot to unpack. the final scene and this room with
Pendergrass is cool. I like this guy.
Yeah,
I like this guy a lot. Or
Dedra.
Yeah,
she is my favorite Imperial right now. She is my favorite because she didn't hold back at this. She was accused of putting or overstepping and stuff, and the other guy that I forgot his name again, but her nemesis at this point calls her out on the floor. Yeah, calls her out on the floor, and she just kind of like handles it.
Yep.
Yeah, I did it. I overstepped, but here's the reason why. Because you guys are blind, and it's basically the protocols that you put in place is not working. And her line of systems are meant to be changed, and God, what'd she say? It was like the systems you put in place are not are not working, and they either change with the times or they get destroyed. And that's what got the attention, of the higher ups, and it's so great how she was ruled for, not against. I love it.
Oh yeah, he went right with her and backed her up and told her to watch her back.
Yeah. I love it. It was great. That scene was great.
Yet another Game of Thrones. I forget that he's in Game of Thrones.
Oh, is he?
Yes,
he's Qyburn. He's the one that brings the mountain back when he dies. He was the hand. He was the
okay.
For a minute to Cersei.
There's a lot of people from Game of Thrones and Star Wars.
Dude,
I love it.
A lot.
Yeah.
All over it. Well, they all fit, right? They all got accents. They could be bad guys over here. It works.
Yeah. It was great.
I just think it's all the same movie company, so they need an actor, and they're all in the same place right now shooting.
There's a can of people. They're like, I need gray hair, gray mustache, accent.
Here,
Scottish or Irish accent, whatever.
Yep. Yeah. Right. What do you need?
Are you free Tuesday?
Eastern
Irish. That's Andor. Wednesday? Yeah, I can go Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that as we move on, like I said, we're in this another arc, right? We're the creator said like we're into this whole different thing, and then we'll have our finale. So, guys, I'm with it, man. I'm so with it. Like, I can't wait to digest more of this. I can't wait to see the series as a whole and just how well it's done. I get a little bit depressed. Like, why isn't Star Wars like this moving forward? You know what I mean? Like, it might.
I like the mix. Yeah. I like the mix now. I'm getting
Okay.
used to this different, mix of stuff each time. It doesn't have to feel the same. It can feel a little bit different as long as there's, we've said this since episode 1 of our show, right? Just give me a good story and I'm good. Yeah. And we're getting a really good story. Right now.
I think
we're getting a fantastic story. And once you start looking at episode by episode, especially, you're just getting the story going. I'm like, this is really, really solid. I mean, like,
I like how you put it at the beginning of when we were talking. It's when these things end, it's like you hit pause and you waited a week to unpause it. And that's how it feels, because it's not a cliffhanger ending. It's not like, a big dramatic reveal or something. It's like, boom, fade to black, and then credits. And like, all right, cool, I'm done. I'm going to go to bed now, and I'll just pick it back up.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and it feels, and it's kind of working. It is working.
Every episode, as soon as the credits roll, my wife and I look at each other and we're like, that's it? There's got to be more. And the episode, they're not necessarily short episodes, but
the last two have been about 50 minutes.
Yeah, they feel short. So I want more with every episode.
Do you guys rewatch them after day one? Like I watched it 3 times today for the show to get ready. But after that, do you watch them?
Yeah.
No.
I have. No. I've watched 1 or 2 a couple of times afterwards. So
I haven't done that with any of the shows that we've been doing, like Book of Fett or Kenobi or Mandalorian. It was like midnight show, one before our podcast. We do it, and then I wait until the whole series is over. Then I'll do like a binge watch.
Then you watch it all together.
Yeah. I don't like. Yeah.
The Kenobi versus Vader, that I watched that episode like 6 or 7 times.
Seriously,
over and over and over again.
Yeah. There were a couple Kenobi episodes where I watched it many times. The Fett ones, but only the Mandalorian Fett ones did I watch a bunch of times. The Luke Fett one.
They're so good.
A couple episodes I watched over and over, but not all the time. I'm asking because I do that with Stranger Things. I rewatch it. Cobra Kai, I rewatch it. The Thrones and Lord of the Rings, I watch them several times during the week. I don't do that with this show. I get enough of it day one. I watch it 3 times. I'm set. I'm good till next week, and I remember it all.
Yeah,
it's just a weirder show to watch. But that goes to the pausing bit more than the cliffhanger. Let me learn bit.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I mean, it's almost like I'm ready to. It's almost because I'm ready to talk about I'm waiting for the next one to go. Right, like I'm like, okay, I'm good till the next time, and I'm ready to go. And unless it's a cool scene, like you said, Boba Fett or Luke, killing the Dark Troopers and all that stuff. And
it's a good background filler right now because where you're doing stuff that type of thing. Because then you stop.
See, I can't do that with this show because I'm like,
neither.
Yeah,
but I'm saying though, to rewatch it so many times is here's the tie scene, like that.
Right.
Oh, God. Ooh, yeah. I gotta hear it like that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I have a problem with the tie scene. I do agree with it's but like this one would be hard because I'm like, there's nothing that's going to grab my attention around. But ooh, I got to see this part.
Yeah, or I'm listening again to what they're saying. Like you're listening closely, so you stop what you're doing.
You can pick it apart.
Like whereas Cobra Kai, if you're watching Cobra Kai in the background, I was like, oh shit, they're about to fight. Hold on.
Right, yeah.
And I got it. Cooking my eggs. Got it. I'm good, right? Yeah. Or, here comes a dragon, and how's the dragon? I'm gonna, hold on, we're about to see this get down.
Right.
It's
there's some visually appealing scenes that
here, I can't think of one thing in this episode where I'm like, okay, I gotta turn around for this.
No. Because when I'm rewatching, I'm like, I'm sitting down, I got my food, I'm like, boom, zeroed in. But
I background it like Ernie's saying right here, I background everything. There's always a show going in the background at some point. But during those shows, I have them on because there's certain scenes where I want to go, that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. But that Rick Jones comment, he said, seems like there's triple the budget of Kenobi. It does seem like
absolutely.
It. Yeah. It seems like. Well, here's the thing, right?
It's the volume, dude. The volume's throwing us off.
Yeah. Here's also the thing too. Yeah. Like Andor is really focused on story and really good acting and editing and cinematography. Like it's really good at that. They're not really
took their time with it.
Yeah, like you see where the money's going to, and it seems like the money is going to like a very, very good atmospheric show versus special effects or CGI or a lot of. They're all practical effects as far as like the aliens and all that stuff. There's no over the top creatures that they need to CGI.
Well, think about this, okay? When Disney Plus started, we knew immediately. We knew before Disney Plus started that Andor was coming. Andor was in the works that long ago.
Yes.
Where Obi-Wan Kenobi was a 2020 slate surprise. Where it's like,
it was.
Hey, we're gonna get.
It was
this.
almost last minute, huh?
Yeah, it was, and it came out before Andor, and Andor got delayed a few times, but I think they were pushing it to make it the absolute best it could be. And we kept throwing around ideas that maybe they were moving it so it would tie into the other shows differently, or it needed to fit into this slate a certain way. Yeah. But I honestly think they were putting the money and time behind it to make it the absolute damn best show it could be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like
go ahead. You see it. And we were in a hotel room and was finally able to log into Disney Plus, a better TV than what I've got in my house. So it was crystal clear and it looked beautiful. And I cannot say that about Obi-Wan. You needed to dull those graphics down a little bit in order to really get into Obi-Wan.
Oh, these shows, when the volume, you have to change your refresh rate or it looks like crap. Right, you have to put it on your lower quality, or it looks horrible.
But this
megahertz at 60. Put your megahertz at 60. Yeah.
This one is complete 4K, and I was watching it on a 4K screen, up close, beautiful picture, and you could see every pore on everybody's face. Yeah, and the eye, getting to witness the eye as it was happening, and that kind of, and that was CGI heavy. It was beautiful. I was blown away.
Yeah,
this show does not have the problems that Obi-Wan has.
Yeah, I almost like you put on the stepping outside our canon talk and stuff, and it's like they needed Kenobi to sell subscriptions so everybody could enjoy Andor. Yeah,
that's right, because the viewership is down in Andor. It's not a huge viewership, I heard, but
no, it's not, and especially like on repeat. It's like it's almost like everybody I've talked to loves it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, but it's not a repeatable show.
That's, I think, where I don't know how their ratings work and how it works. I don't know how many views matter. I don't know, man. If it matters to keep watching it like ours do, right? I don't know how that works. But if that's the problem, that's the problem. It's not rewatchable.
And it sucks as fans, because I'll speak for myself. You guys can agree with or disagree. I'd rather have shows like Andor than shows like Kenobi when it comes to Star Wars. I'd rather... I love the flash and the kind of poppiness of Kenobi, and tongue-in-cheek, comic and comedic stuff and whatnot, and overacting. But Andor to me, it just seems so much more Star Wars than any other show.
It really it's not Star Wars at all.
For every Winter Soldier, you need a Ragnarok. Type of thing, and that's what's going on right now. We're getting our Winter Soldier, and we've just, you know.
I don't.
Does that mean it's going to be followed up with Love and Thunder? Because I'm out.
Well, what's next?
Taika Waititi will have Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did we see Fulcrum today? When he was on the radio, did we hear Fulcrum?
Oh,
breaking off the arrests, what was going on? That was his network. He was back there smiling when Mothma came in to his show. Right. He was back there on the thing, listening to somebody talking. That wasn't a radio or Newsnet.
That wasn't HoloNet that was
So could that have been Fulcrum? And
it's got to come to play, man. That'd be awesome. Yeah,
and it could have been her.
Could have been,
which would be cool.
She distorted her voice.
Yeah, she's in play right now, so that's just want to throw that out.
I got goosebumps. See, that's the thing, man. It's like those small things, man. Like,
we're used to seeing the symbol come up when Fulcrum's talking, right? A thing, but he's low budget right now in the back trying to hide stuff. There's no things, just a headpiece. Man,
he had to steal some money so he could upgrade his audio equipment.
Oh yeah, he's obviously broke. That guy has no money.
Exactly.
That's why all the stuff in his shop is bootleg.
Yeah, exactly.
Fake Plo Koon mask.
Did you guys catch the Jedi guard, the Jedi Temple guard mask?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, there's a picture of it. I have a screenshot.
I didn't include it because it was so low res.
It's so blurry. It's so hard. Okay. It won't come in clear. But that was cool.
That was cool. Yeah. And I'm surprised he has something like that.
What kind of weird ass?
I know.
Okay.
Every
twice.
I kept going.
Somebody hit the dun. It's bugging. It's like, why are you stopping?
And when people say like this is very close to earthly, that's the moments where I can't argue it.
That was a little bit. The language I can translate. The language is easy. You say shit on there, totally cool, because you just translated it into my language, right? But shaving a haircut, that's not a translation. That was weird.
It's the same thing. It's on par with Chewbacca doing a Tarzan howl on Endor. It's the same thing. So
it doesn't bug me, but it's one of those things like I can't defend.
The Tarzan yell could almost be natural for a Wookiee. I could almost buy it, but shaving a haircut is so specific.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Well, I mean, come on, a Wookiee howl, but a Tarzan. I mean, specifically Tarzan.
Specifically Tarzan. Yeah, exactly.
Specifically Tarzan.
But everybody knocks on a door like that.
Everybody.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe they went through like 100 cuts and he just couldn't stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just how I knock.
Doing it.
Correct. Right. Okay. Go now, Diego, and knock on the door.
Yeah. Do something
No,
else.
can you? Yeah. Can you just do 2? Yes.
Like anything.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That they're like,
anything else but that. Yeah.
Just leave it. Just leave it in.
Funny.
Yeah.
So this guy sucks.
So so he's in prison. He's been
imprisoned.
He's been in prison.
But to me, this is an Infinity War hanger because it's like he's not going to stay. That's dumb.
Right. No,
and he's not even going to stay for 6 years because that puts us past A New Hope. Yeah. So we're not going halfway to Empire. He's going to get out in a minute. So it's one of those cliffhangers that's not a cliffhanger. It's not a big deal, and it really means nothing to me. Besides the fact that we saw how the sentences went up.
Yeah,
which was cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like where we left off for next week, he's in, and like we assume. He could be getting familiar with the K droids, the K2 droids, and I don't think because I don't think Tudyk is scheduled for season 1 as the voice, so I don't think we're getting a K2 this season.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. The word was we would get it later. It would not be in season 1, but they could throw that out there near the end.
Yeah,
it wouldn't.
What if Marva comes to break him out? What if his mom shows up to break him out, and that's what gets her killed?
Oh man!
With Bix and B2. B2 is damaged, but so is a K2 droid. So he takes B2's memory core, puts it inside the K droid, and you've got K2SO.
There you go.
We're gonna make this happen.
There you go.
I thought that from the beginning that Emo was gonna be K2.
Yeah, so let's think about personality-wise. How close is? Well, they both speak though. Is the problem, right? So I guess it's not voice box. How about attitude? Was that?
Well, I would see it as an upgrade for B2, but at the same time as K2 as well.
Right. B2 was giving him a lot of shit in the first episode too. He was giving him some sass. So
he totally could be and climb and go, and he sacrifices himself for him. And I think B2 would do that more. I'm okay with this idea. We've seen it happen with L3, right? Getting put into the Falcon. So
right.
I'm not talking about this a few episodes ago.
I might have been.
We did. We talked about when we first saw B2 on our first episode. We're like, hey,
I like it. And now that we've seen him, though, but now that we've seen personality-wise, we've got B2 down. It could be, and interesting on K2. I'm interested to see what they do with him.
Right. Final thoughts from the pit. Miss Sunflower is saying, I think we need a show like Andor once in a while as a palate cleanser, especially after overexposure tattooing. 100%. That's why I got nervous when he said somewhere warm. I'm like, please don't do that. Rick Jones, Tails is next. I'm avoiding reviews and spoilers. We will be doing full review spoilers and stuff, but catch us on the replay once you get caught up on the shows.
Shit, I don't even know if I'll be able to watch it all before our next episode because that and Andor.
I think what we'll do. Let's take that. We'll figure it out, but we'll take it in sections. How about that? Like maybe we'll do like Ahsoka's arc, and then we'll do Dooku's arc down, the next week or something.
Well, let's see how it rolls because I think this is going to be, or we can do a sideshow,
or we might double up on the shows just to get it out there because we have to talk about it.
You don't want to wait 2 weeks for a show that's been out.
No, I don't want to do that.
And it's only going to be 15 minutes, 45, an hour and a half, right? Total. 15 minutes a piece is an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly. So, maybe we'll do a part 1, part 2 of episode 182.
And to be honest, we've already done the first episode of Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So,
which is really not much to say, but
exactly.
Exactly. So, all right, guys, let's get out of here. I
have one other point to make real quick, just in the toy collector realm. And Ernie, I think you could probably really enjoy this little tidbit too. What we do here as collectors with our pre-orders and the exclusive figures and stuff like that, like our Target exclusives, Walmart exclusives, all that is absolute bullshit compared to how it works in the UK. Because I went to a store called HMV in London. And then over in Edinburgh, there was another one. And then up in Inverness, which is the absolute one of the highest places you can go in the Highlands before you run out of civilization. And every single one of those stores had every exclusive Star Wars figure, every figure that we've got on pre-order from like Moon Knight and Hawkeye. And all those figures are actually on the pegs in droves. You could walk up. The Bespin security guard 3 3/4 inch figure that's a Walmart exclusive. They had them all. The GameStop Black Series figures. They had figures I didn't even know were coming, and clone troopers that I didn't even know were coming. The comic book figures like Chrysanthemum. I bought Chrysanthemum and did a review. It's a terrible figure, but they also had Leia. They had the white Darth Vader. They had the Stormtrooper Creel with this lightsaber. They had all of these figures. They had the lightsabers. They had the helmets. They had everything there in mass quantities. And it's still stuff that we are waiting ages for. And I don't know what the problem is with distribution in the US, but they've got to figure it out over there. And
it's the boats.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be the boats.
They're really close to China.
But not only that, but that may be true. That may be true. It is true. They're a lot closer to China. However, we have to go to 13 different stores to get all of this stuff. They got one. They got to go to one store.
No, you're right.
And it's all there. And
even when they do have stuff here, it's like we got 2 of this figure that you have a line of 50 people out the door wanting the.
And since they don't have all the Targets and Walmarts and stuff and all that, their exclusives get crunched into those HMV or I don't know, Aldi or something. I don't know where they go, but
did have a hard time finding any other store that carries toys at all. But then again, I was mostly doing grocery stores and just getting survival supplies and stuff like that. I didn't have a whole lot of time to go toy hunting. But whenever I did find HMV that has a big sign out front that says get your Hasbro stuff here.
Rub it
Literally
in.
on the security, whenever you walk in a door and they've got the security stanchions you walk through, every one of them said Hasbro Star Wars here.
Wow.
And I mean, the Moon Knight figures, like Mr. Knight or Moon Knight whenever he's in the suit, and Moon Knight whenever he's in his regular Moon Knight garb, that was all there. All the new figures that have been on pre-order forever. Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. I saw toys there that we won't see until probably after Christmas. It's crazy.
There's a lot. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of factors involved in it and stuff, but the whole collecting market in America took a major 180. Major 180 on everything. I mean, we're waiting years, like over a year for pre-orders. But you go on Instagram and everybody's got it in their hands, and you look at, they're from UK or Australia or something like that, and it's like, what if the demand certainly hasn't been slow on collecting, so I
don't know. It was discouraging, but at the same time, it was nice seeing it all on the pegs. But
it's there, like they exist, not just in figure. Or
I can't
pictures.
buy another suitcase to throw all this shit in to have it sent and lost in the on the airlines. So it was frustrating.
Huh. We'll have to do a deeper dive on that, on discussing collecting and stuff.
Yeah, Rick Jones says England's been getting Hasbro stuff early from one central warehouse. Well, we need some of that action, because I got out of Black Series because I just got frustrated with quality and the weight. They have the Boba Fett straight out of the whenever he got his armor back in the Mandalorian. They had that figure sitting on the pegs, and I that's been on pre-order forever. I haven't seen that one show up.
I figure another probably thing is spread, right? There's going to be so many sent. England's yay big.
That's what I'm saying.
Scotland's yay big.
Yeah.
The U.S. is
yay big.
Well,
so the demand of the United States is bigger too. Like
and the demand, right? But the spread is huge. Yeah. So I guess that's probably it. They just throw a shit ton at one place and you can load them up. Whereas we get, hey, you're getting 3 figures there, and you got to fight those 12 dudes for them. Yeah.
From some of the small information I know everything goes to a central warehouse and then gets distributed, and it goes to England first and then to the States. I think that's how Hasbro or some portions of Hasbro works anyway. So it makes sense to like drop it there, leave whatever behind, and then start shipping them here. But like Chris is right. I was like, England is big as what?
Do they still have the same stickers, Scott?
Yeah, it all had the exact same stickers. The only difference was it's in pounds rather than dollars. That was it. There's no
so
extra
you got to weigh everything.
That's dumb. Yeah, you do. You gotta throw it on scale. It's ridiculous.
Stupid.
I'll give you 50 cents for this.
And I couldn't even tell you because, like Rick Jones also said, UK got Galactus first. I got an alert today of needing a signature, and Corinne was like, I don't know, did you know about this? And I was like, what the heck, dude? And my Galactus is right there.
Yeah,
came out of nowhere. And then at 2 o'clock, it came today.
You guys remember they did that with the Razor Crest too. The Razor Crest was
the email said left. It has left the building to expect it, and then at 4 o'clock it said delivered.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I was like, are you serious?
My Razor Crest, the Razor Crest, I didn't even know it was coming that day. All of a sudden, FedEx showed up with it, and then a day later, I got the email notification that it was shipped.
A day later,
I was like, oh, whatever, So,
Same thing happened with the Razor Crests. I think the barge was the only one that actually they needed the signature for it. But
it's just scattered, man. Like everything is just scattered. It's just
and
so
disrupted. It wouldn't be such a problem if it weren't for the fact that we do have to go to all those different stores to find everything. Yeah. Whereas it's in one centralized location, one place there. You go there and you get it.
Right there, Papa, and it's sitting on the floor. That's how big that mother is. Sitting on the floor.
We're going to make Ernie a challenge. If that thing's not open by the end of October, Ouija boards. Send Ernie Ouija boards. Just bombard it.
No, you're not. You mean why? Because the Sentinel's still right there?
Yeah.
there's a Sentinel on top of something else, and there's Galactus.
That's hilarious.
But the
open them
Galactus
together.
is good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. I
friends.
really should, because that I can't believe it. I mean, that's what.
That's awesome.
Wow.
3.5.
It's so big.
It's huge.
That's what she said.
It really is.
It's a lot more boxy than I remember. You said a lot more.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get into that because it looks really cool. But
Cool. Well, guys, let's end it. Let's get out of here. We've got Game of Thrones and Rings of Power to rewatch, and everything else in between.
And you
so
still
much.
need to finish Peacemaker, jackass.
I do.
Jesus Christ.
Um,
a year. Almost at least a year, I think.
He's
Hey,
waiting for
chat,
the 1 year
they
anniversary.
told me to watch episode 4.
We just said episode 4 was fantastic. We didn't say
Episode
stop.
4 is when it got good.
Oh, Lord, man.
It's on my list. Like I'm going to do the R2D2. I'm going to watch Peacemaker.
He's gonna do the R2D2 while watching Peacemaker.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
got it. So,
there you go.
It's distribution problems.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, your
That's why.
shows aren't distributing properly. HBO
Yeah.
Max is a
Yeah,
piece
yeah,
of shit.
every time because it's
If
Halloween
he
time,
was in the
so-
UK, he'd have it all.
Yeah. Well, it's Halloween time, so it's the shiny. I have that problem. My OCD kicks in, so I'm like, oh, Peacemaker. What, Halloween? Boom. It's like I can't scroll down far enough for Peacemaker before I hit 5 horror movies I need to watch.
Speaking of delays, Mando Mike says he's going to finish his Razor Crest. Bullshit. I call bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit on Marco too. Because if you were watching it, it would just be on your continue watching on the first thing you popped up. So just watch the damn thing. It'll be the first thing you see every damn time.
But I had Rings of Power to watch.
I don't want to talk to you right now.
All right, guys. All right, guys.
Go
let's
watch
get
The
outta
Hobbit
here.
and shut it.
All 3 Hobbits, by the way.
Oh, 3.
That's right.
The book was this big.
Ernie, why don't you kick us out of here? Before we go, I want to thank everybody for showing up. Everybody that's in the pit, chatting it up. This was awesome. I love the comments that you guys left on our last show. We appreciate it so much. And again, like, subscribe, Wampa Stomp. There we go.
Oh,
Where's my
Where's my
Wampa? Wampa Stomp that like button, please. We appreciate it. Leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed.
Twerking
It
Wampa.
never gets old. It never
Twerking
gets
oh
old.
Wampa.
we forgot
Twerk-
to twerk them.
The $20 twerking Wampa. Thank you, Mando Mike, for that super chat.
Well, who's
throw my
twerking
own-
really? Joey, Ernie.
Yeah, Joey's twerking.
I got to go find some pants if it's me.
Stay tuned.
Then
I got a bad headache.
now it is
Um,
you.
You're not twerking. You're not headbanging.
Luckily, your brain's
Yeah.
not in your ass. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
maybe.
we're not headbanging, dude. You gotta shake your butt.
Yeah. So with that,
Mike
Ernie,
paid.
take us out of here.
Oh,
Thank you guys very much for being here tonight. Be sure and catch us on all our social medias from TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter too. So go check that out. Facebook is Sarlacc Digest Central 24/7 Star Wars talk. And we will see you next week. While you're in between watching all these great shows or Peacemaker or catching up on old ones, go then catch up on our shows on here. There's reviews, there's past episodes. You got
Yeah.
Moocher Mondays,
Timeless.
everything like that. And while you're watching a show and playing with your figures, then be sure and go over to ToshiStationEmporium.com and put in your order for your figure stands
What's
or
this?
space walls
Ooh.
right there that are up on the site. Use the code Sarlacc Digest to receive 10% off your order and a free handshake.
And a free handshake.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's in the box.
There's something
will
else
be.
coming later. I'm just gonna tease it right there. Oh, look at that. Is that green slime? Oh, look, stay tuned to find out.
I know what it is.
What is this? A manhole
too.
cover? Is that a manhole cover? I don't know. We just have to stay tuned and find out. I mean,
Dead giveaway.
I don't know. But a manhole
Dead
cover
giveaway.
and green ooze has anything to do with Star Wars. It doesn't, by the way. But hey,
There's plenty of stuff on there.
Stay
Blood
tuned.
Splatter, Space Walls, He-Man, NECA fig. Tashi Station Emporium has you covered for everything. Everything. Go check it out right now. Use that code Sarlacc Digest, and we'll see you next week at 8 o'clock right here.
beautiful.
Bye.
And with that, Scott, welcome back to America. And
Thank you.
Or are
there's
you
no
that
choice?
happy to be back?
Well, I went from really nice temperatures to 90 some odd degrees again. So yeah, whatever.
yeah.
It's
Wait till next week. The cold front's coming. Winter is coming.
Yay.
All
Winter
right.
is coming.
Yes.
With that, Scott,
Keep it nerdy, everybody. Bye.